Hello people, and welcome back to this week's news review. Apologies that this video is going to be a bit delayed, but it's just that I wanted to look at some more info regarding a lot of information that's in this news, which probably is also why this video is going to be a longer one. So, this week's news includes the evolution of Simon&Lagann, which includes both a new leader skill, new active skills, which is basically like a new card, and also like 3 combined forms. So that's a lot. So first off, like, which form is better? The evolved form or the unevolved form in terms of like as a leader? So right off the bat, the biggest difference is that the unevolved form can have marker members just in general, but the evolved form can only have Gurren characters or the Spiral King character. Or actually, no, only Spiral King, Lord Genome, and Lagann. I think that's the alternate card, the Dark Market alternate card. You do get. Yeah, you get an attack boost here. That's the more attributes of Runestone's Dissolve, the higher team attack, which I think is different from the previous, his unevolved form rather, which is technically a large attack multiplier, but I'll talk more later about how like this condition might not be easily achievable. And right, they just put the same picture twice. That confused me. Okay. Team skill. You actually, this is one unique point. When you have team diagram characters or combined characters as a leader. Okay, yes, so when using them as a member, when you combine them, you get an extra draconic trigger, but you can't go beyond 2. CD -8 of everyone, and you turn into Spiral Power, which is just the old thing that we already had. Next up, on his own, CD7, Gidro Maximum, essentially the same, but you automatically have a nice board, convert it into all enchanted and all the types of runestones to achieve that maximum attack boost I talked about earlier. The character's attack times 5, that's the same, and the character's damage can be dealt regardless of defense. I think this is different because previously it was initial shield, if I remember correctly. But yeah, right now this is kind of necessary because you already explode petrified runestones, but in the future, if there's an enemy that like has a lot of defense anyway and also has petrified runestones, you might need to do that. But I think hopefully by that time, or even existing, there are other characters that can ignore defense. There are plenty of fire ones I know, but market ones, I think a little bit less. I will show some of the cards if I manage to find any, but yeah. Okay, here's the 3 combinations. So let's talk about them each. You needed for Arch Gurren Lagann, you need Viro and Enki. Yes, I don't remember people's names. That's okay. Apologies if you like this anime and the characters very much, but I don't remember names very well. Upon combination, you fully recover HP. That's basically a given nowadays. For 2 rounds, the character's attack times 4, and you can deal damage regardless of combo shield. Okay, so with this combination, you need to pay attention to when you're combining, because it's essentially like a small attack boost when you do. Let's skip here first. You basically get the same thing, except the damage reduction is increased and the condition changes. So when there is additional effect in play, which you will hopefully do because you have Yoko, damage is minus 50, whereas before the combination it was minus 40 when you dissolve power stones. So yes, technically you can tank a bit more damage with this combined card as a leader. Its team skill is also changes to become Fire, Earth, and Heart instead of Fire, Earth, and Water. But the 2.2 and 0.3 are the same as the previous combination of Simon and his brother. Next, launch an extra fire attack as much as 50% of the character's attack, and you turn the column below leader and ally into fire in Untitled Chapter. So this is basically like a well, you can complete stages fast by converting things, but I think this card. Well, actually, let's talk about the active skills first before I give final comments. CD7 active skill 1, basically the same as Simon's. I think exactly the same as Simon's. Yeah. And then for active skill 2 is exactly the same as this guy. Yeah, so not much has changed. So for this card, I don't think you would really run it as a leader, because this card is trash. So like you wouldn't like run him like anyway. I think the only redeeming fact of this combination is upon combination, ignoring combo shields might be useful for certain stages, but like nowadays most teams can just deal with the combo shield just by making combos. So yeah, if you want like a 2-part combination, the unevolved Simon plus Pyro and Enki can be right now as a leader for sure, but also as a member in the future, also more versatile than this combination. Next, Super Galaxy Gurren Lagann. So 4 characters this time. So here's where we start talking about the space in your team. When you have 4 characters combined to become 1, you only have 1 extra slot for something, and that extra slot has to be something from Team Dai Gurren, because of this restriction that I think really diminishes really diminishes like how these cards may be good in the future. There's no like future value because Team Dai Gurren is just gonna be Team Dai Gurren, whereas like the previous combination of the original Gurren Lagann actually has potential to improve in the future. But regardless, let's get back on the topic. Fully cover HP, charge your Draconic, and for 4 rounds this time, the same thing as previous. And next, let's take a look at the leader skill. Extend moves the movement time regardless by 2 seconds. Was that in the previous? I don't think it was. Yeah, no. The extra boost the movement time, so that's something. Single attack becomes full attack, not really necessary. More attributes solved. So built in Simon's team skill in here, and built in the other one as well. So similar, but this time there is number 2 and number 3. Next, the Spiral Power Nap becomes a 5x5 explosion. So that's a really big board explosion because your normal board is just 6x5. So you generate non-light and non-dark, and this is actually really powerful because for each heart runestone exploded in that like giant like 25 runestone like area of explosion, you recover 15,000 HP until your team HP is full. So like basically 3 runestones and you're at max. Like yeah, I think 3 runestones within that gigantic square and you're full. So that's really good, especially like in, you know, recovery 0 or like severely reducing, or statuses that severely reduce your recovery, something like that. And the other part of the team skill is extended runestone movement time to 15 seconds. This is not absolute, so you'll be ending up with like 4 seconds, I think, when runestone movement time is reduced to 2 seconds because you have a guaranteed 2 seconds. And you launch 2 fire, 2 earth, and 2 light extra attacks as much as 50% of its attack each round, to make up for essentially 4 cards in 1. So, moving on. You have 2 active skills once again. This one is Simon's, built from here again. Character attack time 6 this time. And this one is King Kitten's, built from here, which is a time tunnel. This is new, 15 seconds. He didn't have that before. And combo count +2 for every group runestone dissolved in the first batch, which is more or less the same as him originally, because you would run him, I mean, presuming you would run him in a die guarantee. But yeah, this 4 card combination I think is, as I said before, is less good. Like, obviously, this team skill is pretty insane, but again, like, you know, a simple like 2-second runestone movement time can screw you up sometimes. And also, like, it's 4 cards into 2 active skills. I know you get the attack boosts, and its leader skill, you know, it still maintains, you know, the multipliers all there, and you get extra attacks, but like, it's not doing it, in my opinion. Like, you take up too many card slots in exchange for like 1 slot for utility. And yeah, finally we get to the third one, which is literally everyone in there. 5 cards, so it's fixed, you can put in no one else. And you can combine into Tengen Toppa Gurren Lagann for like recover HP, charge, and draconic, and for 99 rounds, the first batch of runestones to be dropped will be water, fire, earth, and heart. So you get rid of light and dark runestones completely. So first off, there is already a thing that's bad about this, is because if your first batch of runestones dropped dissolves, like sky drop style, your second batch of runestones can have a chance to be light and dark. So essentially, if you end up with light and dark in any circumstance, you have like some dead runestones. Like, instead of making it easier for you to spin, you just have some runestones that you most likely will not be able to dissolve. Leader skill, team attack time 7.5, just a straight up 7.5. Why? Because a lot of the utility is built on the team skill. So for this team skill, you need one side to be the 5 characters, and the other side to be only the evolved form of Simon and Gurren Lagann. So Team Dagger and Leader Simon and Gurren Lagann. So like this card, the evolved form of Simon, you can only have those 6 cards. So like, this is what I'm talking about with the limiting factors. Like, it's fixed. It's fixedly absolutely extreme. So let's take a look at what it gives you by fixing your whole team comp. You get Rainbow Spiral power. Damage speed will become 0. Basically, Diamond's crystallize effect. or like the Nen power a while ago. Everything is everything, good. Everything also has heart, good. Extend runestone movement time to 10 seconds, okay. And an extra fire attack each round. Okay. So there is more. Turn over is enchanted marketing runestones next round. There's actually more utility than people think, or I don't know how many people have. Is it Veronica? I think next card called the Light Machina stat booster turns the board into marketing runestones every round. You can avoid like a lot of stuff that way. You can avoid frozen runestones. You can avoid petrified runestones. Just like quite a lot of stuff you can avoid just by having a race runestones on the board. You ignore sticky runestones, okay. Single attack runestones, full attack, again this point is basically irrelevant. And based on the current wave, your attack increases. So on the 10th wave you have times 10. So, this, let's just like address a point right now with the team comp. You first off have like made your where is it? You made your board to be only 4 types of runestones, but your ally, who is the evolved form of Simon, and the full attack boost can only be utilized when you dissolve all the attributes of runestones. So, like normally you wouldn't be able to get that. And with a character like, well, basically with one character, like one giant combined character, this attack boost does mean a lot. So, yeah. Although, like, it is just, the attack is insane. Like, for all these cards, attack power, like, is not a problem. It's just, like, utility in, generally just breaking shields. But let's take a look. Active skill 1. CD3. For 2 rounds, combo count +1 for every group of runestones dissolved. Okay, basically, Xiangyu. And you inactivate enemies. Okay, so this is CD3 and for 2 rounds, so you have 1 round of rest in between. You might need to calculate that, like in time for like combo shields or just big damage boosting, something like that. You add 3 rows on enchanted runestones, but this time you don't even need to spin them. They are arranged for you in all 6. So here is a guaranteed activation of Simon's leader, ally skill, leader skill, but on the ally side, extend rune movement time to 15 seconds. This is not time tunnel. Pay attention, and you launch 4 extra attacks regardless of puzzle shield and combo shield, and you enter a dying state. This dying state you can basically ignore it. Why? You can just ignore it, like activate like rainbow spiral power. And then like the enemy can't even damage you. So yeah, I don't think like this dying state is not the main disadvantage of this character. So again, like what I would say about this card, it's so limiting. Like not only can you, well, the previous card you can only put in team Gurren characters. Now your whole team comp, including your ally, is fixed. Granted, between the active skills and like 9 team skills, and I'm pretty sure that's the most team skills that have ever been on a card in TOS, like you just don't have like as much shield breaking utility as like other teams. So like for starters, you have 2 Fire Machina characters, right? You have 2 Fire Machina characters, and if I remember correctly, yeah, this one doesn't have like extra attacks that are of different attributes. Like if the enemy like requires some other attribute of attack other than fire, you're screwed. Like even though this is extremely powerful card in terms of attack, like there's something that it still can't do. But yeah, I'm not gonna go like poking at everything it can't do, because every team obviously cannot do everything, because then the game will not be fun and there will only be one team ever. But what I'm saying is that like what you see now is what you get. Like there's no future. There's no future for this culmination as a leader. Like there's no growing from here. So, in my personal opinion, you don't need a pull for Simon if you're Titan Diamonds, or if you. I just don't think it's worth it, because even with this expansion, right? Does everything look cool? Yes, but maybe I just don't have the sentimental value because I haven't watched the anime. But like based on the power level, Simon after this edition, like, is still not worth it. But if you do want to get Simon, do not get more than one Simon, because you can evolve and devolve him. The way you devolve him is in the black hole, but I don't think that like you will have to evolve him really after like this honeymoon period, where like all the like stages are designed around like culmination characters, or like just Gurren cards in general. My original opinion still stands. Yoko, pull for Yoko, and that's it. I think you're done from there. Yeah, Yoko is the only jackpot I think you should get. Still, even with this cool mecha looking thing, no. I don't think it's worth 175 diamonds for Simon. But if you don't have a like Machina leader previously, either from the Miku collab or from the FMA collab, for sure you could pick up Simon as a leader and just make a meta Machina. I myself pulled a little bit on FMA. I'll just give you like my opinion right here. I pulled for Alphonse. He's still good. I pulled on the Miku collab. The big prize there is Mikaito. Mikaito's still cracking like ultimate stages. He's cracking like the ultimate stage for this guy, who I can't remember his name again. But yeah, Miku is still alive and kicking, or at least one card from that. There is a special event. You get a new skin for a suit. This skin actually looks pretty good, in my opinion. Get a new card on the villains team, I think. A Dark Mark card, CD8, Fuel of Marks plus 20, and attack boost. Again, like, get one, but this seems pretty trash to me, because adding fuel is good, but 20 is too little, and for CD8 that's a bit too long, and yeah. The stack boost is also not really significant. New outfits. They're new outfits. No comment. Next. Guild mission, new guild mission. Rice Dumpling, Earth Elf, CD6. Turn the column and roll into Earth. So basically a cross shape into Earth. And if there are no Earth runestones, turn everything into Earth. So, if this card is not good, you could get a... What's her name? Zana? Something? The card that, like, the helper for Pandora? No, I'm obviously joking. That card I said was not worth it, even though I did get her in the process of pulling for Pandora. But no, like, I don't think this card is the best option for even converting the full board into Earth. I think there are elf cards that can do that, or convert the majority of the board into Earth. But yeah, grab one and hopefully you'll never have to use it. But you might. New skin as well. This skin actually I think looks pretty good. And old cards. These two. I think that is it. Oh yeah, there's a special challenge day that's already out by this video. Also this. And yeah, that's it. If you watched this far, thank you. Thank you for sitting through this longer video. There was just a lot of info. And yeah, leave a like if you liked. Leave a comment if you have something you want to say to me. And if you enjoy this news video, I do these every week. Please subscribe. Alright, that's it for this week, and I will see you next week. Goodbye.